Hello, welcome to Inner Circle in Astrology. I'm very happy to see you again. Um, Today we're going to talk about Leo more and then um, introduce ourselves into the energy of Virgo. So when we talked about Leo, we said it's a fire sign, it's masculine, it's fixed in the sense that it accumulates identity. We also said that its ruling planet is the sun, and that a good symbol for this sign of the zodiac is the star, of the 5-point star, because it symbolizes humanity, in the sense that we're coming from Cancer, and now we are in a different plane where the animal crawling in 4 legs or walking on 4 legs becomes upright, and it becomes a human being. So he leaves, with Leo, we're leaving the animal part behind, and now we are standing on 2 legs and walking in the world. Remember that in Leo we had an individual that left his community or his clan in order to find himself, and he succeeded in finding himself, identity for himself, which is different from the experience in Cancer, where identity is more through belonging to a family or belonging to a community. So in Leo we have a great creative power. Remember that the ruling planet for Leo, which is not really a planet, is the sun. It's a star. It radiates energy, and that radiation of energy comes back because it has a resonance in the outside. I also mentioned last time that with Leo we have to think of 2 things: center and periphery. The center is the person who has Leo in his birth chart, a prominent one. Excuse me. And from that fixed center, he radiates energy, and there is feedback from this periphery. We also talked about the image of a king and his subjects, or the king and his people. So he radiates this organizing energy, and this periphery, that would be his people, provides feedback to the center. So both things, center and periphery, are important to understand Leo. And even the symbol for the sun, which is the circle with 1 point in it's a circle, sorry, it's a circle with 1 point in the center, shows this idea of center and periphery. So mainly the difference then, and I go back a little bit because it's good to understand how each sign builds on the other. So these are phases actually. Leo would not be able to exist if he hadn't had his Cancer moment. in order to live in search for himself or for his self-identity, there had to be a Cancer moment, a moment where there was a border, a clear border in reality, where the inside, the energy went inside, and this was important because it was nurturing and protective of something that was starting to grow. Leo would not be possible without that protective energy of Cancer that allowed him to grow. And when the moment is ripe, the same as for babies, after 9 months they have to be born. So when the moment was ripe, this person left the village in search for himself. And in Leo we have this border again, but instead of everything happening inside this protected form or this border, this inner place, we have an identity that radiates to a periphery. So instead of being an inward movement, it's more an outward movement. But again, we also have this center and periphery, so we still have this form. It's just that the movement of the energy has changed direction. Instead of going inwards, it goes more outwards. But we are still in the realm of the form. So, going back to the energy of Leo, it's a very abundant energy, very confident. Leo has found who he is, or his identity, and he wants to show it. And in showing his identity, Leo is extremely happy. He's happy to show what he is to the world. So there is a great ability for self-expression with this energy. Psychologically, sometimes some Leos may feel that they can do whatever, so there is no idea of a border yet. A border in the sense of limits, boundaries, right? I can do whatever because look, I'm this star shining with my own light. I have found this, I'm so happy about it, and I am manifesting this or expressing this. So there will be a moment when this will find its own boundaries, and not just be an energy of I can do anything because look who I am. So the finding of boundaries is something that will come after Leo, and it's something that will be necessary for the process, because we are in a process. Remember, Aries was its manifestation of new energy. Taurus was bringing this to the concrete, to the concrete world. Then Gemini was the experimentation with different variables within the form, until some of those variables were isolated to protect a new form that was growing. Now this form is all grown up or mature enough to go and venture in the outside world, and we are in Leo. We're still in the realm of what we human beings are familiar with, right? Because our society is very much Cancer and Leo. It's family oriented, community oriented, and in the last years, in the last few years, there has been great emphasis in finding yourself, express yourself, and this more Leo energy of the individual expressing his singularity. So in Leo I am, and I have found myself, and I want to show it to the world. This will be a first phase for Leo, right? Because he radiates energy. That is the capacity of Leo, to radiate energy, organizing energy. But he, in this first phase, he depends on this feedback from the periphery, these people around Leo. And this feedback builds an image of himself for Leo. So there will come a moment when he will find out or feel that this image that the rest gives back to him is like, there is no sense of freedom again. It's again like an enclosed place. And because there is no sense of freedom, or because Leo feels that in this way he is a prisoner of this image that he and his periphery have built about himself, he will feel this loneliness I talked about in the previous video. This loneliness is the realization that I am by myself again. What I'm getting back from these people around me, I don't feel it's really me. I have to become independent of this feedback. And this will trigger the second phase of Leo, in which he will start building his identity independently of the feedback he gets from outside. And he will build his self-image more from who he really is, and not so much from what he gets from that outside. Hard, but possible. And even if you don't have a Leo, I think that all of us go through that process in a certain moment of our lives. But for a Leo, this is very substantial. It's the energy of his sun, of one of the most important energetic parts of his birth chart. Okay. What are the people that have Leo in their birth charts, a strong one, like? Well, they are very bodily. When they appear at a certain place, they will be recognized or paid attention to, because their way of being bodily in life is, here I am. They are not going to be unnoticed. So bodily they will make, I don't know if they will make, they are in such a way that this will not be unnoticed. Their presence will not be unnoticed. From a mental point of view, they will surely be very organized and organizing. So when Leo comes in, he will find this spot or this place, this central place where he will organize the context. And he will also be practical. This organizing skills is for practical reasons. And from an emotional point of view, they are very confident, of course, um, generous. This is an abundant energy, like in Aries, which is another fire sign, although with differences, of course. And very emotional, not like Cancer, which was emotional too, uh, focusing a lot on affectivity, emotional in the sense of expressing himself, his emotions, a little dramatic maybe, excuse me, um, and basically confident, very confident people. Sometimes criticism is hard for them. Also, pain or sadness or suffering, that's not something that has to do with Leo so much, because Leo is the sun, is this source of energy, of light, radiating this contagious happiness about being, about life. So that's why if somebody who has a strong Leo in his chart has a tendency towards depth of existence, it's coming from another part of his chart, not so much from his Leo, Sun in Leo, or his Leo part in the chart. It could be the Sun in Leo, or it could be the Ascendant. Although in the Ascendant we have to learn Leo throughout our lives. But anyways, there could also be a tendency to narcissism, because these people are so self-confident that sometimes they go a little they could exaggerate this self-confidence, or this self-confidence could be a little irritating for some people with a different energy in their charts, of course. So it could lead to narcissism in some cases. It all depends on the rest of the chart, of course. Okay, so so we were talking about emotions. I said they have intense emotions. They can be passionate. We talked about the mind. We talked about what they are like physically. That whenever Leo comes into a room, he will be noticed because of the way the way they are in the world. Something else, I stopped talking about what organs the different signs of the zodiac rule. In the case of Leo, it's the heart and the spine. I mentioned Aries rules the head, Taurus rules the throat, the neck and the shoulders, Gemini the lungs and the breathing rhythm, the arms and the hands as well, Cancer the ribs, the stomach and the breasts, and of course the uterus. Okay, so remembering this Leo moment in which we are so happy to be who we are, this identity that depends on an image, at least at the beginning of a Leo's life. We move on to Virgo, which is a very different energy again. Virgo is the 6th sign of the zodiac, and this has to do with The 6-point star, not the 5-point star as in Leo. The 6-point star is 2 triangles. It's made up of 2 triangles. So we have a triangle is 3 sides, so we have the 3 twice because we have 2 triangles. And 2 times 3, or the 3, let's focus on the 3 first. The 3 has we can associate the 3 with creativity, the creativity of relationship. So we have 2 times 3. This is the creativity of the union between heaven and earth. That's why the 2 triangles. So one would be earth, the other is heaven. Heaven and earth unite, like in a sexual relationship, and there is creation. There is again relationship, and there is again creation. So that's what the number 6, the symbol for the number 6, which is Virgo. Okay, so this is the symbol for this earth sign. So it's the second earth sign in the zodiac. The first was Taurus. It's feminine. The energy here is reabsorbed after the expressive Leo moment. And it's a mutable sign. So here we have again this oscillation between poles of reality that we have with mutable signs. We're coming from a fixed moment. Remember, Leo is this fixed center. He knows where he is, and from there he organizes. Virgo is mutable, and we'll see in what aspect this is manifested in Virgo. And well, it's Earth, I mentioned that, and this symbol is for Pisces because Virgo and Pisces also form part of a polarity. Virgo is system, and Pisces would be, I don't know, eternity or dissolution. We'll see. It's hard to put words when we talk about Pisces. Okay, so with Virgo we have an awareness of something else happening beyond the self, beyond Leo, beyond the self. Oh, sorry, beyond Leo or beyond self-identity. A broader order, we have again awareness of a broader order that exceeds what is human. A feeling of an immensity where the singular is a part of an order exceeding the part. Virgo has to do with system and function, and there is something latent in this sign, and its archetype is the Virgin. Okay, so let's expand on this. So in Leo there was awareness of the self, an expression of that self, leaving behind for now the group where I belonged. In Virgo there is this feeling. It's a feeling. It's not a certainty. It's something that is hard to understand yet. There is this feeling that I belong to something more. I mean, there is something more where the different stars, shining stars, are in. It's not that the shining stars or me as a shining star belong to this bigger thing. It's not belonging. It's I am part of this. And that's why Virgo has to do with system, because each of these parts are part of the system. The system has all these parts, and the important thing is the function each part has in the system. So it's not belonging, as in Cancer. It's not this kind of loneliness of Leo in the self-expression by himself. It's more of a system where every part has its place and every part has its function. It's system, part, both are important. Remember in Leo how center and periphery were important in the same way. It's not being the center is more important than being the periphery, because the center is defined in terms of the periphery and the periphery is defined in terms of the center. So they go hand in hand, center, periphery. In the same way, here in Virgo we have part and system. The system without the part means nothing to us, and the part without the system, the same thing. So part and system have to do with Virgo, with the energy of Virgo, and the realization that every part has its function in this system, like the human body. Every organ is a part of the body and it has a function in the body. And the system is not just made up of all these parts, it's more than made up of these parts. The system is these parts and their realities, their individual realities, but working in tandem, working together. So, hard to explain because it's also hard to understand and hard to live with a lot of Virgo in the chart, you know, because this is the feeling, it's not the understanding of what's going on. This is a perception that something is going on. It's not just okay, I found my own light, I am expressing, creating resonance with this light. No, this is going beyond. And this is hard for us people because we tend to stop our psychological development with Leo. Okay, I found who I am. Or we spend a good part of our lives trying to find who we are, and then like making the most out of that, or making it better and better. But going beyond Leo and realizing, oh, wait, I'm part of something bigger. That's a big psychological leap. And sometimes we don't do it. Something else that we talked about with Leo is that, okay, there is this energy, there is something latent in this energy. Latent means not fully manifested yet, but it's there, it's present. Something is present, but it's not fully manifested yet. And of course, it's not fully understood. And the archetype of the Virgin has everything to do with Virgo, because what is a virgin? A virgin is somebody who surrenders to a process that is beyond herself. She does not understand what's going on, but she surrenders to it. She is willing to go through this process that is beyond herself. Beyond is a good word for Virgo because it's beyond the personal identity. It's beyond me as an individual. It's beyond my singularity. So this is the first contact with the energy of Virgo. Thank you. And we can also say that the zodiac is what would be the adjective? Well, it's a matrix that has a lot to do with Virgo. It has a lot to do with Virgo because as we go through the different phases, we don't realize, but we are going through this system where every part, that is to say, every sign has its function. Every sign has its function. Every part of our natal charts has a function. That's why I was saying in the first video that it's very important to own the different parts of our charts, because everything is there for a reason, or everything is there because it has a function, and it's the work of our lives to find them, to find the functions of every part of our energies. Interesting trip, very interesting trip, really. It's passionate. So next time it would be Libra, sign number 7, cardinal sign again, so there will be a change, a quality change in the zodiac with Libra. So more about Virgo and introduction of the energy of Libra next time. Thank you, and see you next week. Bye.